artificial intelligence. It's everywhere now, isn't it?
Absolutely everywhere.
And education. Well, that's definitely one of the places that's really starting to shake things up quite a bit.
For sure. A major area of focus.
So today we're taking a deep dive into how AI is, well, how it's poised to fundamentally transform the way we learn, teach, and even access knowledge.
Right. And to guide us through this complex landscape, we're focusing specifically on the perspective of Leah Belsky. She's OpenAI's vice president and general manager of education.
Okay, so our mission for this deep dive.
Yeah, basically, we want to unpack OpenAI's strategy, their vision for responsibly integrating AI into, the classroom.
Responsibly being the key word there.
Exactly. We'll look at their main tools, things like ChatGPT Edu and the new study mode, which is really interesting. We'll highlight the benefits, the potential upsides AI promises, but also critically look at the significant challenges and ethical questions that come along with it.
So the goal is to give you, our listener, a kind of shortcut to understanding what's really important here, so you feel genuinely well-informed.
Precisely. It's moving so fast, it's hard to keep up.
It really is. Okay, so let's set the stage. Who is Leah Belsky? What's her background?
Right. So Leah Belsky took on this role, VP and General Manager of Education at OpenAI back in 2024.
Okay.
And her background is, frankly, perfect for this. She was the Chief Revenue Officer at Coursera before this.
Coursera, wow, that's huge in online learning.
Huge. She oversaw their expansion to, get this, 140 million learners.
140 million? That's incredible scale.
Yeah.
How do you think that specific experience, with scaling platforms like Coursera, shapes how she's approaching AI at OpenAI?
Oh, massively. It's not just a line on her resume. It feels central. She understands the delivery of education at scale, the complexities, the diverse needs of learners globally. It's not just about the AI tech itself.
It's about making it work for actual students and teachers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And her core philosophy, what's really interesting there, is her belief that AI can be a, quote, democratizing force in education.
Democratizing. What does she mean by that, practically?
It means using AI to provide really personalized tutoring, especially for students who might lack access to those kinds of resources traditionally. Think about bridging those long-standing inequality gaps.
So leveling the playing field, potentially.
That's the vision. Her big goal is working super closely with universities, with schools, to make sure educators and students can actually maximize the benefits, but, and this is key, responsibly.
Yeah.
Always thinking about the learning process itself.
Okay, that makes sense. Which brings us nicely to the actual tools OpenAI is building. Let's talk about their big initiatives. ChatGPT Edu first.
Yep. ChatGPT Edu launched in May 2024, and it's specifically designed for universities.
Right, not just the general ChatGPT.
No, this offers more personalized controls, pricing that works for institutions, addressing some of those early adoption hurdles.
And universities are already using it.
Oh, yeah. Early adopters include places like Oxford, Arizona State, Colombia. They're using it to support students, faculty, research. Pretty broad applications already.
Okay, and then there's this other thing you mentioned, study mode. That sounds intriguing.
It really is. Introduced July 2025, and this is where it gets quite different. Study mode actively tries not to give you the direct answer.
Oh, how does that work then?
It guides students using Socratic questions. It pushes them to think through the problem themselves.
Ah, so it's trying to teach, not just answer.
Exactly. It's a really significant move by OpenAI, I think. It signals they're tackling that concern head on, the worry that AI just makes students lazy.
Right, the machine of answers problem.
Yeah, precisely. Belsky herself pointed out, when ChatGPT is used like a tutor, guiding thinking, performance improves. But use it just for answers. It can actually hinder learning.
That's a crucial distinction. Where is study mode available now?
Currently, it's rolled out for the free, Plus, Pro, and Team ChatGPT users. And the plan is to integrate it into ChatGPT Edu down the line, too.
So it's really about getting you to think.
That's the idea. Promote reasoning, not just recall.
Okay, so tools are one thing, but they're also forming partnerships, right? Collaborations.
Yes, and some really strategic ones. Take California State University, the CSU system.
Huge system.
Massive. 460,000 students get access to ChatGPT Edu through this partnership.
Wow.
And really importantly, based on their agreement, Student data from this partnership is not used to train OpenAI's models.
Okay, that's a big deal for privacy concerns. That's good to hear.
Definitely. They're also working with Instructure, the company behind the Canvas learning platform.
Oh, lots of universities use Canvas.
Exactly. So they're integrating AI into Canvas to help educators create interactive assignments based on these language models, the AI systems that understand and generate text.
Making it easier for teachers to actually use the tech in their courses.
Right. And speaking of teachers, they haven't forgotten about training them.
Good. That seems vital.
Totally. They launched a course back in November 2024, collaborating with Wharton Online and Coursera again.
Makes sense.
It's called AI in Education, Leveraging ChatGPT for Teaching, specifically designed to help educators figure out how to integrate this stuff effectively and ethically into their own teaching.
Because just handing over the tool isn't enough.
Not at all. You have to empower the users, especially the educators on the front lines.
So we've got the vision, the tools, the partnerships, the training. Let's talk about the promised potential. What are the big benefits Belsky and OpenAI see?
Well, the first huge one is personalization at scale.
We touched on that, like a personal tutor.
Exactly. AI that can adapt to each student's specific pace, their learning style. Study mode is a great example. It figures out where a student is struggling and adjusts the questions or explanations.
Like having a dedicated tutor for every single student, which is impossible traditionally.
Right. And that personalization directly fuels the next big benefit.
Enhanced accessibility.
How so? By providing high-quality, tailored educational resources, potentially anywhere, anytime. Think about students in disadvantaged communities or remote areas who might not have access to top-tier traditional resources. AI could help bridge that gap.
A potential equalizer, then.
That's the hope, offering opportunities that maybe weren't there before.
And what about for the teachers themselves? Any benefits for them?
Absolutely. Supporting educators is key. AI can take over some of the time-consuming admin tasks.
Like grading basic quizzes or finding resources?
Exactly. Or generating practice questions, helping create interactive content. The idea is to free up teachers' valuable time so they can focus more on direct student interaction, mentoring, the more human elements of teaching.
More teaching, less paperwork.
Hopefully. And then there's the fostering of critical thinking and problem solving.
Through things like the Socratic method in study mode.
Yes. By guiding reasoning instead of just spitting out facts, the goal is to help students develop those crucial skills, analyzing information, constructing arguments, solving complex problems independently.
It's not just about knowing stuff, but knowing how to think about stuff.
Well put. And we are seeing this start to play out in practice.
Oh, yeah. Like where?
Well, at Harvard, for instance, they use personalized AI tutor bots in a first-year accounting course.
Accounting, okay. Complex stuff.
Right, and they found it significantly improved the students' grasp of those tricky concepts.
Interesting. Any other examples?
At Ohio University, a professor named Jared DeForest built his own tool called Soil Sage.
Soil Sage. For what?
It's a GPT-based chatbot, but it's trained only on reliable course materials. So students can ask it questions about, presumably, soil science and get accurate answers based on the curriculum.
Ah, so it avoids the risk of the AI just making things up because it's grounded in the course content.
Exactly. It increased accuracy dramatically. So these aren't just pie-in-the-sky ideas. People are actively experimenting and finding real value.
Okay, so lots of potential. But it can't all be smooth sailing. There must be challenges, concerns.
Oh, absolutely. And it's crucial we talk about those. Navigating this requires facing some pretty significant hurdles.
Wait, what? What are the big ones?
Well, the one that blew up almost immediately when ChatGPT launched back in 2022 was academic integrity.
Right. Cheating. Plagiarism.
Exactly. Huge concerns about students just using AI to write essays or solve problems without actually learning anything. It forces a fundamental question. How do we ensure AI enhances learning rather than letting students bypass it?
Yeah, that's a tough one.
And closely related is the risk of excessive dependence.
Becoming too reliant on the AI.
Yeah. Belsky herself and many other experts warn about this. If students, especially younger ones, just turn to AI for quick answers all the time, does it inhibit their ability to develop critical thinking, to struggle through problems, which is part of learning?
It's that fine line between a helpful tool and a crutch that stops you from walking on your own.
Perfectly put. Then there's the issue of equity and access.
Ah, even though AI could democratize, you're saying it might not in practice?
Right. The potential is there, but the reality is the digital divide. Do all schools, all students have the necessary devices, reliable internet? the infrastructure to actually use these tools effectively.
If not, it could actually widen the gap.
It could. The promise of access doesn't automatically mean equitable distribution. It's something that needs conscious effort to address.
Okay, what else?
Institutional resistance, or maybe just institutional unpreparedness.
Meaning universities and schools aren't ready for this.
There's data suggesting that. One survey found something like 77% of professors at four-year universities felt their institutions were unprepared for the changes AI brings.
Wow, 3/4, that's high.
It really is. It highlights a massive need for better training, clear guidelines, resources, support. Faculty need to feel equipped and confident to make this work. Without their buy-in, it's hard to see widespread effective adoption.
Makes sense. You can't just impose it from the top down.
No. And layered on top of all this are the broader ethical concerns, things like data privacy, student surveillance, potential biases baked into the AI models.
Right, the AI reflecting biases present in the data it was trained on.
Exactly. These are critical issues needing careful thought, regulation, and transparency. Which brings us to some of the more systemic critiques.
Okay.
Some critics, like those Natasha Singer wrote about in the New York Times, raise concerns about AI becoming, quote, central infrastructure in education.
Central infrastructure, like plumbing or electricity.
Kind of. And the worry is that this could lead to what they call a techno-feudalization of education.
Techno-feudalization, that sounds dramatic. What does that mean?
That's a strong term, yeah. But think about it like this. In feudal times, lords controlled the land, the key resource. The fear here is that if a few big tech companies control the essential AI platforms and the data,
then schools and universities become dependent on them, like vassals.
that's the analogy, yeah. Educational institutions could lose autonomy, becoming reliant on these tech giants for everything from how student data is managed to how curriculum is delivered. Power over learning gets concentrated in corporate hands rather than distributed across diverse academic bodies.
That's a chilling thought, actually, losing control over your own educational mission.
It raises fundamental questions about autonomy, data ownership, and the future structure of education. And alongside that big picture concern, there's the very practical risk we touched on. AI models, chatbots, they can still be confidently wrong sometimes.
Hallucinations, right, making stuff up.
Exactly, which just underscores the absolute need for human oversight.
Yeah.
Educators need to be involved, verifying information, guiding students. You can't just let the AI run loose.
Okay, so a lot to think about there. Looking ahead then, wrapping this all together, what are the key things we need to focus on for the future? What are the main challenges or areas for action?
I think it boils down to a few key areas. First, definitely developing clear ethical policies and guidelines.
Rules of the road.
Exactly. For responsible use, addressing privacy, bias, transparency head-on, we need clear frameworks.
And training. You mentioned that earlier.
Absolutely crucial. Continuous training for educators. Not just a one-off workshop, but ongoing support to help them integrate AI effectively and innovatively, moving beyond just basic use.
What about the access issue, the digital divide?
That needs constant work. Reducing the digital divide has to be a priority. Finding ways to ensure that students and institutions in marginalized communities aren't left behind, that they have the tech and connectivity to benefit.
Otherwise, the democratizing potential remains just that potential.
Right. And we also need to think long-term. We need long-term impact evaluation.
Meaning studying how this actually affects students over time.
Yes. Proper longitudinal research.
Yeah.
How does sustained interaction with AI tutors or tools affect cognitive development, emotional development, social skills? We don't really know the deep long-term effects yet. It's essential, and we study that carefully.
It's a marathon, not a sprint, in understanding the impact.
Definitely. And finally, maybe most importantly, we need to foster critical technological thinking, meaning promoting a critical approach to AI itself within education. Ensuring that our embrace of these powerful tools doesn't overshadow human interaction, creativity, empathy, the uniquely human skills.
It's about augmenting humans, not replacing them.
That has to be the goal. Using AI to enhance our capabilities, but always keeping human values and human connection at the center.
Okay. So, to kind of recap our deep dive today, Leah Belsky and OpenAI are clearly pushing forward a major shift in education using AI. There's a strong focus on personalization, accessibility, and trying to support educators.
Yeah, and tools like ChatGPT Edu and especially study mode show some really fascinating potential for changing how learning actually happens.
It's a big but.
It is. The key takeaway has to be that the real success of this whole transformation really hinges on responsible implementation.
Collaboration with schools, solid teacher training, strong ethical policies.
All absolutely essential. It's the only way to genuinely maximize the benefits while managing or mitigating those very real risks and challenges we discussed.
Well, this deep dive was really designed to give you that comprehensive overview, help you navigate what is, let's face it, a really exciting but also incredibly complex landscape of AI in education.
It's changing fast.
It really is. So maybe a final thought for you to chew on. As AI becomes more and more central to learning, what does a truly democratized and truly human-centered education actually look like in that AI-powered future? And maybe what role will you play in helping shape it?